Every day that passes, it is becoming difficult to remove President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As time is going, it is becoming very, very difficult to remove President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. No opposition has won any governorship election under Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I repeat, no opposition has won any Guba or national election since Bola Ahmed Tinubu became president. Nobody has won any court case since Bola Ahmed Tinubu became president. Now, he is determined to make Nigeria a one-party state. Buhari was from a military background, and despite all of that, Buhari is more democratic than President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. INEC is gone. The judiciary is gone. The state has been captured. All institutions has been captured. Now, like I said, as time is going, it is becoming more difficult to defeat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The opposition needs to know what they have to do if they are interested in wresting power from the APC. Now look at it critically. What Tinubu has done to northern Nigeria, my brother, what Tinubu has done to northern Nigeria, Tinubu has destabilized northern Nigeria. When I started my broadcast, I saw it that Tinubu is planning to destabilize the whole political structure in northern Nigeria. Look at El-Rufai. Look at Atiku. Them no get mouth for their own state. Atiku no get mouth for Adamawa state. Even Ribadu, the national security advisor, get mouth past Atiku for Adamawa state. The Waziri. I think recently they stripped him of that title, the Waziri. Now, if you look at Kaduna State, El-Rufai has been rubbished by his own APC. Since he left the APC, many people are coming out to rubbish El-Rufai. Now, these strong politicians in northern Nigeria, in Arewa, their own political members, their own political family are coming at them because of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a southerner. Tinubu has succeeded in dividing northern politicians. He has seen that so many of them are ambitious. And that ambition, he keyed into that ambition to separate them from their organs, which is El-Rufai and Atiku. Now, it is becoming difficult as the day goes by to remove President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, except these people are not interested. Peter Obi, Aregbesola, Atiku, and co. Except that they are not interested in winning the next elections. I even pity for an Atiku. This guy has tried for a very long time. Like 7 times now, he don't run for presidency. But he knows Siam because of the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, I'm not supporting the president. I'm not supporting the APC. I am telling you what is on ground. Politics is not a game of emotions. It is a game of interests. I'm also calling on the APC and the president that this antecedent that is being said by Tinubu's administration, I hope he's going to restructure Nigeria at the end. Because he's setting up the Southwest for further attacks. Yes. Now, you are setting up your people because if it happen, if it stop, maybe Tinubu rules for 12 years and it does not restructure Nigeria and Nigeria remains the same that it is. There's a possibility that in the future, there will be an alliance against southern Nigeria. One of the reasons why I'm supporting Tinubu for restructuring is because Nigeria is not designed to be one in the first place. Nigeria will destroy your identity. Nigeria will destroy your culture. Nigeria will destroy your own heritage. One Nigeria. For instance, now the Ministry of Education introduced a new curriculum. Now, in that curriculum, history will be taught to students all over the country. And there are 3 approved languages. 3 approved languages. Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. 3 approved languages. What of other people waiting for the same one Nigeria? What of the Ijo, the Ibibio? What of the Efik? What of the Kanuri? And many other people in the Middle Belt? What about them? Now we are preserving 3 top languages in Nigeria, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba, while others are being relegated. Okay, if you are teaching Igbo, inside Igbo, go Igbo land, have you listened to the Eza people on the Kanu people speaking their language? Even in Yoruba land. That is why conservatism is very, very important, because they don't go bomb me as an Igbo person. At the end of the day, I know if you recognize my identity, my culture, my heritage, where I come from. I know if you speak my language. I know if you understand my language. I don't have an identity. Then somebody in the West will now want to absorb me into his own world. No uniqueness. So the only thing I can advise, one Nigeria was never designed to preserve you as a person. Northerners should rethink, and everybody should support restructuring. And if you are not supporting restructuring of Nigeria, we are going to be running in an endless cycle of foolishness and stupidity to ourselves. That is how Nigeria has been existing since 1960. We have not been able to fix any sector of the economy. And the IMF and the World Bank, all of them, they are dictating to us, OPEC, they are dictating to us how we can run our economy. And ever since they have been dictating to us, show me any economy, any country that has been getting advice from IMF, the World Bank, that has been industrialized, that is now better. Show me any. And I'll tell you countries that does not even take advice from the World Bank, but they are getting industrialized by the day. You know, the West use propaganda to spoil many people. The West use propaganda. They project Ukraine. Ukraine, you can defeat Russia. You can do this and that. Now Ukraine, they beg. After Biden and Obama and co, they hype Ukraine, say you can do this and that, using media to push all sorts of propaganda, knowing well that Russia go swallow Ukraine on a normal day. That's how they are pushing Nigeria. That's how they are encouraging this misunderstanding called Nigeria. And they are robbing people of their own identity, to the extent that they will extinguish you. Bill Gates and co, they do their own from back. They're going to put so many things inside the products where they give to Africans, so that you will become infertile. They are just there to destroy you. Nigeria, created by the British, by the Americans, is there to destroy you. You see, we don't even think, we don't even look at the long game. You see, these guys are playing the long game, like the Fulani. How did the Fulani permeate itself into the Nigerian structure? Since the Fulani don't push this agenda of dominating people, taking their lands. And as the day and year goes by, they have been sophisticated in their approach. In any parastatal of the government, you see a top Fulani person. In the army, and then full their pass. What is their population? They cannot be compared to Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. But where they are in the north, they dominate the Hausas, which is almost 70 million. They dominate every other person. They call themselves the Arewa. They have the Mietiala. They have produced presidents. Top politicians in northern Nigeria, they are Fulani. Top politicians that is controlling northern states, they are Fulani. We have like 9 to 10 Fulani governors and top politicians in northern Nigeria. And these people, they are playing a script. And they have been playing the long game for a very long time. They wish to eliminate you. The Doba that is being practiced in Kano, who has taken over it? Is it not the Fulani? Sokoto, Sultan of Sokoto belongs to the Hausas. Is it not the Fulani? So this one Nigeria happened to the Hausas. The Hausas are relegated politically. And the same thing Tinubu is doing to northern Nigeria. And they know it. That's why they are fighting tooth and nail. They are fighting like wounded lion for their lives, as if their lives depend on it. They don't want this man to return second term. Wounded lion. And you trust the Fulani person. The Fulani person never gives up on anything. Even though he knows that he will lose, he will always put up a fight. Someone like Atiku Erufai. If they wanted this coalition to be vibrant, they will have even looked for a P2B to use. But it is beyond their own way of reasoning. You know, there's this entitlement mentality the North has. There's like, we are superior, we are this and that. That is why I'm supporting Tinubu, to deal with them. There's nothing too good about northern Nigeria. It's just like a few people just take over power, build a political class, a few circle. The politicians in northern Nigeria, they have a class. So Every other person, they use them as just like their cows. They use them as sheep. They control them with the traditional rulers and religious leaders, and also insecurity. That's what the small circle of the political class in northern Nigeria do to them. And they are using the so-called landmass and the so-called the population, using it to bamboozle the other part of Nigeria. They are not too important. They are not too special. Come to the southern part of Nigeria and see what we call the competition. Come to Lagos State and compete. That is why an average Hausa person will come to Lagos and will do menial jobs. He can't compete. Anybody that is competing will have a federal backing or a prominent presence. Okay, an Hausa person just come normally. An average Hausa person, you go school for Lagos State University or Unilag in Lagos. You from there, you hustle, you now rise to the ranks. You must, but an average Southerner does that every other time. The Northerner would not be even that, would not even come. See, if we have people in Northern Nigeria that can do that, very few. So you can't compare. Northern Nigeria just take advantage of the assets they have to these colonialists. You know, say that the colonial masters that they carry Nigeria give Northerners, give the Fulani. They don't say go cause trouble. They don't say they can use the Fulani to cause trouble and scatter everywhere. Then they can still, for instance now, why do politicians use divide and rule? I have a boss in the office. He told me one of his strategies for him to control everybody in the office is divide and rule. Yes, so that everybody will come back to him. He's going to settle and know how to manipulate. Because there's a tendency for people in the office to outgrow him. So he uses divide and rule. Then somebody that wants to claim that he knows very well than other person, he will raise another person, another department that will counter that person. Then they'll have to start competing. Nobody's going to focus on how they'll outgrow the Oga or out to have influence more than the Oga. They'll be fighting themselves. This is what the imperialists and the colonial masters are using for Nigerians. The Yorubas are having it good at this point in time. And as I love the Yorubas reach, I'm telling them that make sure that you protect your structures, your heritage, whatever it is that you have. The opportunity that Tinubu has, he should use it to also restructure southern Nigeria, because northern Nigeria, they are not even ready to be restructured. Even the middle belt and the Hausa where they shout for social media, they don't have strong voices. They are even actually captured. You see, when you can buy people's loyalty with money, when you can buy people's is it loyalty? There's one the commitment to their own culture and heritage. When you can use money to convince a traditional ruler to sell his birthright. That is what is happening in northern Nigeria. Because I don't see any reasons why Fulani will just come. The northern the northern traditional rulers were Muslims already. But the Fulani will come and say, you're not Muslim enough. Find a way, you kill them, they are just there. There must be some kind of inducement. Yes. So one Nigeria is against you, my brother, my sister. My brother, my sister. Now let's focus on Tinubu. Every institution of government has been captured. People underestimated President Lament Tinubu till today. They underestimated the man. And I told people, I said, you look at this man very well. Look at this man very well. Does he look like a Yoruba man to you? Just your average Yoruba man. And I like such personalities. You look at them, they don't look so convincing. They don't look like they're just there. But when they strategize and they do what they do, the influence, the influence Tinubu has, even though it's not liked, but you must like him. When I was in school, we had these Igbo, Yoruba, whatever. Well, that one was not my business. I was a politician. I knew how to play my politics. But there's a particular Igbo guy. He had the experience. He had skills. Even though they didn't really like him like that, there was politics around that area. Not everybody. Some people were playing politics. If they want to do something, they will have to call him because he had what they needed, irrespective of his tribal difference or his tribe. They had what he needed. That's what Tinubu is. Tinubu is in every sector of the country. You know, before now, people never knew that Tinubu was that influential. They thought it's only Lagos. how Tinubu was able to coordinate everybody, every of his own political sons and daughters all over Nigeria to win the elections must be studied. I'm telling you how he was able to do it. I know many people will say that this guy invested in a lot of people when he, as a normal politician, he invested. Most of his closest loyalists are Northerners. Most of them. Northerners are not even Southwesterners. Look at Tinubu's government today. Who are those controlling the government? Now Wike now. Now Ribadu now. Now Akpabio. Wike, Ide APC. When Wike started, you know Tinubu. Akpabio, when Akpabio started, you know Tinubu. I know for Ribadu has been with the young man, but Ribadu was used by Obasanjo against Tinubu at a point in time. How he's able to convert this young Ribadu to work under his government as his national security advisor needs to be studied. I'm telling you, needs to be studied. So I pity for Northern Nigeria at this point in time. I'm very happy that I'm a Southerner because, see, the most Northern Nigeria can do is to say they don't want to be part of Nigeria. That is what we want. We are praying for that. Let Northerners say, we are tired of this Tinubu suffering, Tinubu subjugation, and whatever. We don't want to be. We don't want to want Nigeria. That is our prayer. Southwest to South to Southeast. Now the prayer that they pray. Who is feeding Nigeria? Southern Nigeria. For instance, Lagos, the Southwest region, now them they even sustain when it comes to taxes and revenue. Forget. Almost all headquarters of major multinationals, they are in Lagos. Almost, not everyone, almost. Most of our industries are resident in the Southwest. Most of our industries and their headquarters. A lot of things are happening in the Southwest. Have you been to the Southwest before? Just one, the Ogunusi Road from Ojodubega down to Agege. If you take the revenue government makes from Ogunusi is just a road though. The revenue of those streets, those companies around that road, some states will struggle to have those revenue in a month. Some states, look at the revenue. Some local government will generate. Some states in Nigeria will have difficulty in generating it. So Lagos, number one, industries, Ogun State, and other places. Other places in Ondo State, oil dey there. Oyo State, Ogun State, you dey hear. Osun State get to. I don't know about Ekiti. Ekiti, they just go school. They go school. I don't know about. I have not researched about Ekiti. I'm just telling you about how southern Nigeria they feed the whole Nigeria. Come to the south. Of course, now Akwa Ibom, Delta State, Bayelsa State, River State. I don't even call it they do. But the highest revenue you get in Nigeria is from oil. I'm telling you. Now, the Southeast, which is said to be the least, but not the least. Southeast, then strong. You need a Southeasterner in everything you do in this country. If you don't have a Southeasterner, all those people, they ginger your vibe in business, in every area, in academics, every area. A Southeast enters and it gingers the whole system. You shake everything. You vibrate everything. Just like vibrator. You vibrate everything. You know that thing they used to dig ground. Hard surfaces. You hold it. You shake it. Southeast, which is the least, but not the least. We have gas. So we have oil. Gas is the future. They build pipe from my region. They go other places. They supply them gas. So the reason why Russia they dominate Europe because of say Russia get gas and they supply, they feed Germany and all that country. If Russia withdraw their gas, they're going to enter trouble. So Southeast get gas. So I'm not saying Northern Nigeria does not have, but when you combine Southern Nigeria, now them they control Nigeria. So the Northern Nigeria should not threaten anybody. Let Tinubu continue what he's doing. Because it seems like the opposition said they are not even serious. If the opposition is not serious, let Tinubu continue what he's doing. And the only advice I'm advising Tinubu is that make sure you unite Southern Nigeria. So that in the nearest future, you will not have so many reasons to support a Northern coalition, a Northern bloc. Because that's the only option left for Northerners. If they get into power, they will rally around themselves They'll start preaching, save Arewa, save the region, roadmap to Arewa, roadmap to northern Nigeria. They'll start pushing that for the person in power to realize and recognize that. You know, Nigerians now, if emotional people will be, APC now is like charging the narrative on social media. Everybody, some people even say, it's better we have a Tinubu than we have an Atiku. Tinubu where they don't like before, where they don't even like, they don't even see him face before. It's better we have a Tinubu than Atiku. Let Tinubu go on. APC is changing the narrative. So northern Nigeria, if they understand the template at which Tinubu is doing what he's doing, they can also change the narrative, because Nigerians are easy. Nigerians don't read, they don't research. Nigerians are there just for cruise. They are catching cruise with their lives. Indians are building drones. Brazil, they are building cars and building planes. Nigerians are banting themselves online. I be Igbo, you be Hausa, you be Yoruba, you be this and that. Highest they do, somebody will just go learn one skill like that. Come the phone Jagaban. I told you a story of my pastor. He had a phone. He carried that phone to the whole of Computer Village. According to the story, he carried that phone to the whole of Computer Village. Nobody could fix that phone. He took the phone. Whether his brother in China, small chickeny Peking, small chickeny person for China, when they brag. But those who are waiting for Computer Village, will see they go big like this. They fix phone. They go fix phone. Nigeria. The small Peking fix the phone within 1 hour. You don't fix the whole thing. It tells a lot. So as it stands, instead, northern Nigeria, you people should bear Tinubu now. We know that Tinubu is worse than Abacha, I understand. Bear Tinubu. If you are going to remove Tinubu, I have given you the options you need to do. Get professional PRs. Let me read it. If you want to confront Tinubu 2027, you will have to be strategic. Now, it is no longer about you or you or you. Everybody needs to come together. Jettison your pride and ambition. Take yourself and agree to a consensus. Give Nigerians the way out of this mess and convince Nigerians. Then be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Match Tinubu. You already know what Tinubu is likely to do 2027. Have people that are crazy and aggressive, and you match Tinubu what he's going to do 2027. Then watch what happens. But if you continue like this, we don't predict the election. If you continue like this, unless there's a change. May God in heaven, may this God that we serve in heaven, help Nigerians. It will take men to fix it. We need an elite consensus for this to happen. At least take us back to 2015. We can find our way home from there. May God help Nigerians.